Where does the U.S. Fall within this CBDC spectrum? I think that's what most of our audience members are here for.
Well, thank you for having me, Mike, and it's great to be amongst this panel. I think the question is where we fall is, we're a lot like our friends to the north in Canada, whereby we understand that there is a lot happening on the technology front that could aid the mission of the Federal Reserve. And also, we are learning from the rest of the world that problems can arise or challenges can arise that would need the Federal Reserve to respond potentially with new technology and potentially with a central bank digital currency. Like Canada, we have no plans to issue one. But we better be ready if one of those events emerge that we have seen in the world that could require us to take action. And furthermore, our division in Boston, in the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, is exclusively a technology division. We are not policymakers. But I'm sure, like our friends in Canada, and our friends in the ECB, or our friends in China, there is a lot of levers we need to understand how to pull, and what happens when you pull 1, 2, or 3 levers. That's critical for us, and that's always also based on the problem you're trying to solve. So if you look at the scope of our friends throughout the world, Sweden had a challenge where cash became less useful. So they had to build a model that was effectively a cash replacement. Our friends in the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, they were looking at a situation where to move any form of currency, it took a fixed $100 fee because the dozens of islands that exist in the Eastern Caribbean. So what they had to do was build a system that was cheaper than $100 per transaction, faster than a boat or a plane. So every use case is dependent upon the central bank building. So on behalf of the Federal Reserve side, we are trying to look to the future to understand what use cases that could emerge, that could lead the executive and legislative branches to have this action occur and to be prepared for them, and to effectively communicate to the policymakers what the trade-offs are. That's the key question for our division, is deeply understanding the technology and to clearly detail the trade-offs of every policy decision that could be made.